Well, first up this evening, the top political story from Tamil Nadu. Actor Vijay, who hopes to alter the state's political landscape in 2026, held his party's first General Council meeting in Chennai. Taking on both the ruling DMK in Tamil Nadu and the BJP at the centre, Vijay even declared that the 2026 polls in the state will be a battle between the DMK and his Tamizhaga Vetri Kazhagam, and that the principal opposition party in the state, the AIA-DMK, was nowhere in the picture. The resolutions passed by his General Council include strong opposition to the three-language formula, delimitation and amendments to the Waqf Act. Hitting out at the DMK, Vijay accused that the DMK and the BJP have a tacit understanding and that law and order in the state was a serious concern. He also said that the DMK government is as fascist as the centre.
ஒன்றியத்துல பாஜக ஆட்சியை ஒரு பாசிச ஆட்சின்னு அடிக்கடி அறைகூவல் விடுத்துவிட்டு இங்க நீங்க பண்ற ஆட்சி மட்டும் என்னவா? அதுக்கு கொஞ்சம் கூட குறைவில்லாத அதே பாசிச ஆட்சி தானே. ஒரு கட்சி தலைவனா ஜனநாயக முறைப்படி என் கழக தோழர்களையும் என் நாட்டு மக்களையும் பார்க்கிறதுக்கோ சந்திக்கிறதுக்கோ தடை போடுறதுக்கு நீங்க யாருங்க? தடையை மீறிய மக்களை பார்க்கணும்னு முடிவு பண்ணிட்டா போயே தீருவேன். சட்டத்தை மதிக்கணும்ன்ற ஒரே காரணத்துக்காக தான் அமைதியா இருக்கிறேன். நேத்து வந்தவெல்லாம் முதலமைச்சர் ஆகணும்னு கனவு காண்றான்னு சொல்றீங்க. அது நடக்கவே நடக்காதுன்னு சொல்றீங்க. அப்படியே எந்த கட்சிக்கும் இல்லாத நெருக்கடியை தமிழக வெற்றி கழகத்துக்கு மட்டும் போட்டுக்கிட்டே இருக்கிறீங்க.
Loud political statements there from actor Vijay, but is he any closer to forging an alliance, or is Tamil Nadu heading into a three-way fight for 2026 between the AIA-DMK, TVK, DMK-led alliances possibly? Joining me this evening, two keen Tamil Nadu political observers, Sumant C. Raman and R.K. Radhakrishnan. My first question to you, Sumant Raman, given that the AIA-DMK seems to be warming up towards the BJP after that meeting between Edappadi Pazhanichami and Home Minister Amit Shah, is it now becoming increasingly clear that Tamil Nadu 2026 could well become a three-way fight with the TVK as the third force in the state?
Look, I watched the entire speech today. I still have no clue how he proposes to position himself as the alternative. He says the same thing that every political party says: we will fight corruption, we will fight nepotism, we will fight for social justice. I mean, and the 17 resolutions, I actually, you can replace any opposition party's name in that and they will be there. For instance, I thought it was like a DMK's set of resolutions when they were in the opposition. You know, law and order is bad, this is this, that is that. But the rest of it, the ideologically seems to be, it doesn't seem to have anything to show which is different from the DMK. And he talks about eradicating corruption. How is he going to do it? And with him, so look, he himself came into the movie industry thanks to the connects of his father, who is a very, very eminent director and producer. And, you know, along with him is Mr. Adav Arjuna, who is the son of Santiago Martin, Lottery King. I mean, it is completely, it's the theater of the absurd, as I see it. I don't understand. He has not given me one valid reason to say why he is the alternative.
Okay, you know, even if you say that, Sumant, you say that there is no valid reason for him to say why he's the alternative, but the fact is that certain positions that has been spearheaded by the DMK, it's very difficult to take an alternate position in Tamil Nadu. In terms of identity, R.K. Radhakrishnan, given that Vijay has taken the BJP on as well as the DMK on, and that the AIA-DMK seems to be moving closer, no one's clear about how that trajectory is going to play out. I mean, is 2026 Tamil Nadu, the question I posed to Sumant, heading towards a potential three-way fight, which could, some would argue, benefit the DMK because the opposition vote would get divided?
Thank you for the opportunity, Veera. Obviously, a three-way fight is actually DMK's dream. They would love it. They would welcome it. They will do all that is required to make it a three-way fight. If that happens, obviously DMK is winning this election to 2026, which in other circumstances they will never be able to win. If it's an ADMK and BJP combined, and Vijay's party gets left out, obviously it is going to be a win-win for the DMK. Why I say this is because TVK has traction, but it is untested. There are, Prashant Kishore and the others who have made a lot of surveys. Surveys, of course, do not possibly reflect the real picture, but we think it could be anything up to upwards of 10%, below 15% for TVK as of now. That is because of the youth and the young people who love Vijay, and at the same time, they don't have an alternative, barring Seaman at this point of time. So, having said that, now, if you bring this to an ADMK platform, ADMK probably has 20, 22%, even 25% of votes. It is a winning combination. I do not understand for the life of me why these two parties are not getting together at an early date and spearheading a campaign calling out the BJP, calling out both the BJP and the DMK on corruption, on the fascism, payasam, all of that. I was very, very impressed that he didn't use the word payasam, kheer, in this particular instance, because the last two times on stage, he used fascism and payasam. Avargal fascism, ivargal payasam kind of thing. That is, BJP is fascist, and he basically saying DMK also is fascist. But thankfully, this time, he didn't make a joke of it, thank God. That is one part of it. The second part of it, I have a problem with clarity of resolutions. Every political party, as you pointed out, Veera, every political party, you cannot take a different view from DMK on, say, the two-language policy, delimitation, and a host of issues, including Tamil rights and whatnot. But when you have something like, go to the people and take a kind of referendum on the Sri Lankan Tamils, I keep wondering what Sri Lankan Tamils is he referring to? Does he want a referendum in Sri Lanka? Does he want a referendum in India where there are about 100,000 Tamils? He doesn't seem to understand the issue. It has been hastily put together, and that is the only fault that I have for the Vijay's resolutions. The speech was kind of okay. Thankfully, he mentioned MK Stalin. Thankfully, he mentioned the names of MK Stalin and Narendra Modi, and that's a big, big change.
All right, you're saying that, Sumant Raman, let's leave that aside. Let's agree to disagree on that point. I see you are shaking your head to what R.K. Radhakrishnan is saying. But Sumant, just on the larger picture of it, is a third force still just a vote getter and not a seat winner in Tamil Nadu? A, in the present political context, what would you expect? A, and B, you said so much about Vijay. What do you think he can do to actually position himself differently? Because most of the issues that seems to have been spearheaded by the DMK are very difficult to take an alternate position in Tamil Nadu's electoral politics.
No, he can take an alternate. He can go along with the two-language formula. He can, oppose delimitation in its present form. Those are issues which everybody in Tamil Nadu agrees with. The problem is, why is he the alternative? What is he going to do? What are his policies? What are his programs? I mean, merely saying we stand for social justice is not going to wash, because the DMK claims that it is a champion of social justice. So, looking at today's, 17 points that they put out in their resolution, I mean, this seems to be a diluted version of DMK. When in the opposition, used to do all this. We opposed airport project, equivalent. They opposed 8-lane highway. They opposed, hydrocarbon extraction, all kinds of things. So this is very similar to an opposition version of the DMK putting out these issues. Now, the second point is also, I agree with Mr. Radhakrishnan on this speechwriter. Speechwriter could have been, a couple of punch dialogues were there, but he got his quote wrong. Men may come and men may go was not William Blake at all who actually said that. But never mind, we'll let that pass. But the point really was that Vijay, I do not see what vision Vijay has. Let's assume he gets 15%. That's not enough to win in the state. Maybe he can win. Like Vijaykanth himself won the election early on. And he was the candidate from his party who won. So maybe he can win. But I don't see anybody else in his party winning, contesting alone. Yeah.
It's an absolute point. It's perhaps the fundamental truth of Tamil Nadu politics that so far a third force has never been able to win seats. It's always been just a vote getter. But that vote getter could eventually craft the final verdict, given that he could split vote cutter or vote getter, whatever you say it, depending on which side you see it from. But thanks very much to all, to the both of you for joining me here this evening.